You got a boyfriend? Is that a silly question?
Well, I'm trying to stay single. Do you know what that's like?
No.
She wasn't the only one.
You are not especially enamored or fond of critics, are you?
I don't know how you can say that, John. I think the feeling's quite mutual, actually.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson had seen beautiful before. What he didn't see coming was everything underneath it. One of these women sat on a stage her own family helped create. Another was about to lose the face America knew her by and didn't know it yet. Every time, the conversation went somewhere Johnny didn't expect, and the most practiced host on television went quiet and listened.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny.
The first guest looked like a Hollywood newcomer. Then Johnny asked one simple question and found out Chicago had known her for years. It was September 1982, and Cindy Morgan had arrived, Caddyshack behind her, Disney's Tron still in theaters, a new series just weeks from premiere. But somebody had told Johnny about the part of her story that came before Hollywood, and he couldn't resist asking.
You did some broadcasting in Chicago.
I was a disc jockey for 5 years.
You're kidding?
No.
Radio?
On a radio station, I did the weather. I took a little time off. I worked the weather, and I was a sound engineer in Chicago.
She'd spent 5 years as a Chicago disc jockey, done the weather on television, even worked as a sound engineer. So when Johnny tossed her a little broadcaster trivia, she answered like she'd been waiting for him to ask.
Do you know what an isobar is?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. I learned that after a while.
What
That's
is
not
that?
why they hired me.
Yeah, well, obviously. I mean, no, you're very attractive, and
They hired me because I could talk and ad-lib the weather.
Yeah.
The isobars, of course, are the little wave patterns that you have, the air patterns, and the isobars separate the air masses.
very good.
Local TV had taught her the hard way, including the nights nobody showed up.
None of my guests showed up except a German shepherd.
One of your days, you had a German Shepherd for a
For a
guest?
half hour. You know what it's like when none of your guests show up, and then
Yeah.
you've got the one, and I had him on for 30 minutes.
A dog.
Talk about dying on stage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not a dog, a shepherd.
It was a gypsy.
really?
Oh, what do you want to talk about?
Johnny had introduced an actress. He'd just spent 5 minutes talking shop with a broadcaster. She was the warm-up. The next guest brought something heavier. Most people knew her face before they knew anything else about her. It was 1990, and Dirty Dancing had made Jennifer Grey one of the most famous young actresses in America. But she'd grown up the daughter of a Broadway star, and she'd come that night to talk about something far more serious than a dance movie.
Did you pick up your dancing from a lot of them your dad?
Well, that was the only thing I was allowed to do when I was a kid. I was only allowed to dance. I wasn't allowed to act. They said,
When Johnny got personal, she was quicker than he expected.
You got a boyfriend? Is that a silly question?
well, I'm trying to stay single. Do you know what that's like?
No.
Then she turned to the film she'd really come to discuss. The room changed.
Is this role coming up is a kind of a departure, isn't it? I mean, this is
Well,
based on of course, Gene Hackman did a kind of a version of this, but I guess it was more, not based on actual facts, right? In Mississippi Burning.
well, this is more about the civil rights activists themselves
Right.
instead of, the FBI agents. And I think this is, from what I've heard from the people who were alive then, this is more close to the facts. This is really dealing with, what it was like for these civil rights workers, and it's about the people who fought for it.
Yeah.
So it's great to be able to be a part of something that means something that is important, I think. you
Yeah.
know?
Everyone in that room still thought they knew exactly who Jennifer Grey was. Soon, even that would change. Years later, the roles slowed, and quietly, she was told the problem was her nose. She hadn't wanted to change it, but she said uncle and had the surgery. Then a second operation, meant to fix the first, is what finally made her unrecognizable. Once to an airline employee who wouldn't believe Jennifer Grey was standing right in front of her. If these old Tonight Show nights bring back good memories, subscribe. We share stories like this every week. The next guest had a connection to that desk almost no one knew about, one that went back further than Johnny himself. Audiences knew Sigourney Weaver as the woman from Alien. In February of 1983, she came in to promote a new film, but Johnny wanted to talk about her father.
Your dad, by the way, Pat Weaver, was one of the most creative people ever in television, would be years for NBC. And network television could use a few more people like your dad. He came up with a concept way back in the early days of the Today Show and things like that.
Right.
Got us all started.
Then he turned to the question everyone always asked her.
You must be 5'10", something like that, 5'11"?
Maybe a bit more. 5'10" and a half, and I was called Weaver. Everyone called me Weaver, and I would go out of the school and they'd say, "What's your name?" I'd say, "My name is Weaver." Or else I was called BB, which was short for bigger than a bread box.
She even had a party trick, and Johnny wanted to see it.
I took the napkins from the table and stuffed them into my dress and went up there and sang, "Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Dream is but a life. Lirma, 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 stream the downly gent, boat your row, row, row."
Do you have,
I know I'll get work now. Everybody left.
That name Johnny mentioned, Pat Weaver, mattered more than he let on. As president of NBC, he helped create The Tonight Show itself, the format, the franchise, the desk Johnny was sitting behind. So when Sigourney Weaver walked onto that stage, she was walking onto something her own father built. Johnny could have made more of it. He didn't. He let the moment belong to her. The next guest never needed a connection to that desk. Hollywood had known her name for nearly 40 years. By 1983, Lauren Bacall had survived Hollywood long enough to stop pretending. That summer, she was touring in Woman of the Year, and she said exactly what she thought. So when Johnny nudged her toward critics, he mostly just handed her the floor.
The feeling's quite mutual, actually. I think they are seldom qualified to criticize. I feel, it is my feeling that in most cases, they have been unsuccessful as either playwrights or novelists or any other kind of writer, or performers, or in some other field, and that what is left for them is to sit and knock everybody else.
Bacall didn't mind the opinions. What she minded was the power that came with them.
Well, it's the same thing when a critic writes a review. That is his moment to tell everybody off.
Yeah.
And to show all of the creative people that he's better than they are, and that he can make them or break them.
You got it's like therapy.
And he's
here
not
tonight.
going to get us.
It's like
is
therapy,
he?
not you. No.
Huh?
I think Jackie Gleason once said about critics, it was kind of interesting. He says they have the map, but they don't know how to drive the bus.
Ah, very good.
You know?
Very good.
She'd earned the right to talk that way. Famous since she was barely 20, through the biggest names Hollywood ever produced, and she was on a first-name basis with all of them.
Katie is a very good friend of mine. She's godmother to my young son, and we've been friends since 1951, African Queen days, so that's between Houston and Bogart and Hepburn, it would be hard to do better than that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Then Johnny brought up Betty Davis, a woman Bacall revered, and the wisecracks stopped.
She had to put an ad in the paper. Don't you remember years ago?
That's right.
She had to advertise for a job. Now, if you can imagine that you don't think that this business has a problem, if someone like Betty Davis has to advertise and say, you know, I'm out of work, how about it, guys? Have you forgotten all about me?
That's something wrong. Something's wrong somewhere.
The last guest gave Johnny the strangest turn of the night, a black isolation tank, a father in the CIA, and a retirement stranger than either. It was Valentine's night, 1979, and Blair Brown had come to talk about Altered States, the new Paddy Chayefsky film, but the research turned out stranger than the movie.
Did you go to any of these, like, isolation type of things?
Yeah, I did do an isolation tank.
Mind-altering type of
I
things?
did do an isolation tank. And then when I was...
Is that where they put you in completely?
Yeah.
Cut off from all sound?
Yeah, you lie naked in this solution of magnesium sulfate.
Right.
And you pull this lid. It's like a big black coffin. And you pull this lid over top of you. And you just lie there.
Now it cuts you off from... You start to hear your own...
Yes, the
your
most
heartbeat.
vivid sound you can hear is your own heart beating. It's like your head turns into a speaker. Because your ears are in the water as well.
Then Johnny went looking for where a mind like that came from. The answer was about as far from Hollywood as you could get.
Obviously, you're not from California.
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
I'm from the East.
Whereabouts?
I grew up in Washington, D.C. I was, my father was with the CIA. Da-da!
He was?
Yeah, he was.
Even her father's retirement didn't quite fit the mold.
What happened in Iran?
He's out now. He's retired, and
okay.
he oversees a collection of porcelain birds and flowers. He's kind of switched careers altogether.
Really?
Yes.
There is a complete switch.
I know. Isn't it strange? He was...
Being with the CIA will do that. You tend to
go.
to
Your
look at
brain
porcelain
starts to
birds
go.
after a while.
After a
No, I
while.
didn't. I'm
Yes.
teasing, of course.
Different women, different years, and not one of them was only beautiful. Each brought wit, or nerve, or a whole life behind the smile. That was the magic of the old desk. The best guests didn't just answer Johnny's questions, they made him forget the next one.